The Department of Defense told the press in a statement 6 months ago that all Army computers will have Windows 10 by January 31st, 2017. So we're good, right? This whole entire speech is irrelevant because all these computers have Windows 10 and we're all heavily trained on the inner workings and operating system of Windows 10. Right? Wrong! It's now March 9th, no, 8th, and they still don't have Windows 10 on any of these computers. Most laptops that they've sent up for Windows 10, they've either sent back without Windows 10 or told them it's going to be about an 8-week waiting period. We don't need laptops. Those are irrelevant. We can wait 8 weeks for them. The reasons they're taking so long are many. It's mainly due to the Army side, not the Windows side. The Army's had a huge issue with classified data and transferring it to a new operating system because the chance of losing data is about less than 1%, but that chance is there. So it's been a huge nightmare process trying to get all these computers. Because if we were in a business setting, it would just be as simple as kick everyone off the network for an hour and do a remote upgrade for Windows 10, which is a new feature that makes it surprisingly easier in enterprise environments. Today I'm going to be talking about what Windows 10 is, some pros and cons, and what you should expect from the transferring process. Windows 10 is the newest operating system released by Microsoft in 2012. It was a replacement for the abomination known as Windows 8, and some things they took away from Windows 8 in Windows 10 is the awful tablet mode, which forced your computer to start in the tablet mode, which doesn't really work well if you didn't have a touchscreen laptop or a smartphone. Some key differences from the more popular Windows 7 and Windows 10 include the general layout. On a Windows 7 computer, it's a little more basic. You just got your start menu, and all your control panel options are right here on the right. With Windows 10, they've took out the tablet mode, but they still have the tile features. And another thing they have is the Cortana search bar, which lets you operate your computer via voice, which makes it more universal for if you have a Windows phone and a Windows laptop. But Windows phones are awful. Don't buy them. Throw that out there. Noted. Advantages of Windows 10. For the regular person, it's not going to be too much of an upgrade, but for security personnel, that is its biggest feature. Currently, Windows 10 meets and exceeds the Army's encryption standards. They've included a whole slew of security features for free, and the more expensive Windows 10 programs, which we all know the Army, they go with the most expensive version times 3, is going to have the best security features inside of it. We don't need to go into the whole technical detail, as we'll be here all day, but that's the main reason why the Army wants to switch. Another ability, better navigability. Windows 10, like I said, the Cortana feature allows you to control most of the computer with your voice. Also, it's a more professional layout. I personally don't like the tiles, but for grandma at home, she can see the tiles easier, where Windows 7 was more a bare minimum. Another ability is, like I said, the tile system. It's got you can have more RAM on the system. It's got DirectX 12, which for gaming, it's a little better. Cons. Pop-ups. I don't know if any of you were browsing social media during the Super Bowl, but there's a huge meme going around of people giving things like briefs, meetings, and all of a sudden they get a pop-up from Microsoft saying, Super Bowl in 5 days, get your nachos now. I had everything on my computer from Windows 10 disabled, including all the notification settings, and I still received that notification. It is very difficult to disable these notifications from Microsoft, especially the Cortana ones. Even if you have Cortana disabled and deleted, she still finds a way to come get you. Another con, less control over the OS. Going back to the pop-up system, with Windows 7 you have a little more control with the registry settings and general layout of the computer. With Windows 10 it's a little more difficult. They've got a lot of things called bloatware, which is mainly popular smartphones. Now it's coming to the computers, where there's a lot of apps on there that you don't download that just comes with the computer. And trying to delete them is a nightmare. You uninstall it, and it's not uninstalled on your computer. You physically have to go inside the registry settings and delete it. One thing with registry settings, don't ever delete anything in registry settings that you don't know what it is. Otherwise, it would take me 30 seconds to destroy these Army computers permanently just by going to the registry settings and deleting 1 or 2 things. As I mentioned earlier, a benefit of Windows 10 for gaming was DirectX 12. However, DirectX 12 is useless for most graphics card. I know my 1060, if I turn on DirectX 12, Battlefield goes from running smoothly to look like it's worse than a PS3. Another issue is, like I said, it goes back more to the bloatware. There's a lot of apps that you don't know are running. Windows 10 did an update 2 weeks ago where it had an app running that made my system go from 60 degrees Celsius to 80 degrees Celsius, just because I didn't even realize that it was there running. How the migration process is going to work? Like I said, it's going to take time. They can't do a remote install of Windows 10 due to the classified nature of most of these Army computers. They have to have a certified personnel take each individual computer, transfer the classified data to a classified hard drive, do the switch, verify that all the data is in integrity and that it hasn't been lost, and then put the data back on. It's a lot longer than it seems. Doing that slow for every Army computer should roughly take about 4 to 5 hours plus just to put it on. And I don't know, we have how many computers in here alone? 12, 15? There's roughly 100,000 plus in the Army. So it's going to be a process. But like I said, when they do the update, it's not going to affect anything on your computer. It's just going to be a new layout. All your saved data should be on there. So if you have any files or anything like that, I don't want to worry too much about that. So today we talked about what Windows 10 is, the pros and cons, and what you should expect from the transfer process. Like I said, the reason we're switching to it is as technology progresses, the military must progress with it. Otherwise, we will fall behind and be more vulnerable to cyber attacks. But as has been mentioned before in the countless briefs, you are the first line in cyber defense. We can have the best cyber defense line in the world, and all it takes is a random soldier sending an email that they shouldn't be sending and corrupting the entire network. So remember, always use due diligence online, especially on military computers.